Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steehn with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with part two of Today in Sports Betting. Scott and I are going to take a look at our three favorite college football plays for this Saturday and let you know our angle and what we think you should be playing. So, quick recap of last week, Scott. Our bonus play saved mediocrity for us as we went 10-2, or excuse me, 2-2. 10-2 would be nice. We went 2-2 on the day, as we both had Clemson. You had the Nebraska-Purdue over, which got there by an entire 1.5. Congratulations.
It was a 1.5, but they got there with like 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
And I had Akron -2.5 in the dog bowl there against Bowling Green.
Easy, never in doubt.
Easy money, like people always say when they're betting on Akron. Easy money for them to cover. As they rolled Bowling Green. So, Scott, is Bowling Green worst team in the country?
I think they're probably better than UMass, but it's very close.
Very close. Of course, UMass played FAU tough last week or week before.
I mean, tough. Yeah, they lost by 20 plus, but yes.
They lost what? They lose 22-2?
24-2.
24-2. I was going to say 22-2 would be one of the most unusual scores of all time.
The only thing I know is if I had to price a line personally in my zero experience of pricing lines, I would put Bowling Green at -3.5 against UMass.
Okay. That's probably pretty close. It's a game nobody wants to see, and we're not going to see it.
I disagree. I think that would be that would just be must-watch television.
You think so?
I would watch that. That's just fun stuff.
All right, so you maintained your two-game lead, Scott. I'm currently 20-18-1 on the season. You're 22-16-1 on the year.
Not bad.
Okay, you're right at that. We're right at the Mendoza line there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I know I got off to a hot start. It's been a little bit colder lately, but overall, can't really complain too much.
Profitable. All right, so let's take a look and see what we got cooked up for this weekend, Scott. As always, losers walk, and we tied last week, but you had the honors the week before, so we'll revert to that. Kick it off, my friends. Yes, that's a little football pun there for you.
Yeah, so my first play on this one, I'm going to be looking at Miami. I'm going to be looking at the -3 against North Carolina in the primetime game, or one of the main games, I should say, on today's card, or tomorrow's card, whatever. The main reason why I like Miami in this spot, first of all, North Carolina might be a solid offensive team. Damn, this team's awful defensively.
Really, they are.
They are really, really bad. Now, I know last week they ended up beating Western Carolina by 40. Congratulations. They lost to Notre Dame by 14, gave up 53 to Wake Forest, gave up 44 to Virginia. Even 24 against Duke's not that great because Duke's terrible. Gave up 45 to Virginia Tech. This team can't stop anybody. And Miami, don't look now, but Miami has actually been a very, very underrated team, which I can't believe I'm saying that because they're a top 10 team in the country. But people kind of just forgot about them in the ACC because now you have Notre Dame and Clemson to worry about. Miami's been very good. And
they took that bad loss against Notre Dame, and people pretty much just wrote them off.
You mean Clemson?
Or Clemson, rather. Sorry.
Yeah, they took a bad loss to Clemson. Ever since then, they're undefeated. They've won 5 straight since. And one thing that I do like about Miami in this spot, besides the fact that their defense is actually a defense, is the fact that if you look at their recent performances, they played their last 3 games on the road. And the reason why I bring that up is because of the fact that they have not played a home game since October. I think Miami is going to be very pumped up for this game, traveling back to the Hard Rock Stadium here, since they haven't been there in over about a month and a half. So I think that North Carolina, if you look at their road results, have really not been that great. They killed Duke. Duke, once again, awful. They lost to Virginia outright. They lost to Florida State outright. And they beat Boston College by 4 as 14.5-point favorites. So on the road this season, they are 1-3 against the number. Meanwhile, Miami so far this season at home is, they're undefeated against the number. They're 4-0 against the spread at home. I think Miami will win a very high-scoring, close game, but I do think they'll win by enough to cover the spread. So I like Miami -3 at -105 on Fox Bet.
All right, very good. I'm going to turn my attention to the MAC, Scott, and take a look at the Northern Illinois Huskies against the Emus of Eastern Michigan, the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Got a total of 53, Scott. I think this game goes well over that number. These are two defenses that are very similar in that they both suck. They're both dreadful defenses.
Well, when you say 53, by the way, I see mostly 54 and a half. So is there a heavy juice to that on Bet Online?
130.
Okay.
130. So it is a juice 53 there at BOL.
Okay.
So expect to see that number going up.
Okay.
I think this is one of the best bargains on the board, Scott. I really do. Both these defenses are just absolute trash, and it doesn't matter the quality of the opponent. They can give up points to anybody. Eastern Michigan gave up 38 to Ball State. They gave up 31 to Central Michigan. You know, they've Northern Illinois gave up 40 to Central Michigan, 31 to Ball State.
I think Hutchinson's also a pretty good quarterback for Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And these guys, they can score some points. So
50+ against Western Michigan last week.
Yeah, I think both of these offenses are good enough to take advantage of bad defenses. That's what I'm saying. I think mediocre offenses overwhelm bad defenses, and I think that's what happens here. Give me the Northern Illinois Eastern Michigan over 53 juiced at -130. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely understand. I think that number's too low as well. Potentially, maybe some bad weather, but I don't really care either. I think that's a solid play. I'm going to be looking at a total as well for my second play. It's going to be in the Mountain West, and I'm going to name these two teams, and you're going to look at me like I'm nuts for taking the under here. It's going to be Fresno State and New Mexico, and I'm taking the under 60 at -110 on Bet Online. Most available market-wide at 59.5, but Bet Online has 60 at -110, so I'll take the under there. A couple reasons why I like the under in the spot. First of all, we already know New Mexico's offense is awful. However, it was good enough to score 17 points against Wyoming and win their last game. So congratulations to them. Doesn't change the fact that the team is still awful. Offensively, they are really, really bad. They have scored less than 21 points in 3 of their last 4 games. This team can't move the ball. Now, one thing that is worth mentioning for New Mexico, in addition to their offense, which was already bad, have you looked at the injury report for New Mexico?
No.
It is painful. They have 4 quarterbacks who are out for this game. 4 on the depth chart. They are starting arguably their 4th or 5th stringer in this game who came in last week in Isaiah Chavez, who ended up completing 5 passes last week. But Trey Hall, their backup's out. Tuioti's out with a concussion. They had 2 other guys in Hughes and Ganal who are both out. They're using arguably their 4th string quarterback in this game, and they can't throw the ball anyway. So they're going to run the ball probably 40-something times and eat up all the clock in the world. Plus Fresno State, whose offense I do like, they have one of my favorite running backs in the country, and Ronnie Rivers, who I think is a very, very underrated player. He might not play, as he's questionable with a leg injury. And I think if Ronnie Rivers is unable to go, I think that's a huge blow for Fresno State because he's also a very good pass catcher out of the backfield. So he's their best player. If he's unable to go, or even if he's less than 100%, I don't think Fresno exactly needs Ronnie Rivers to win this game. So it wouldn't surprise me if they decide to not let him go, just to rest him up for, I'd say, better opponents potentially if they end up playing in a bowl game, something like that. But looking at this matchup here, I think 60 is too high because New Mexico won't be able to throw. They're using their 5th string quarterback. I think Fresno will probably score 30+, but I really think this game is going to finish somewhere around, could be 35-14 or so. But I think New Mexico's offense is going to be so bad that 60 is way too high of a total. So for me, I'm going to take the under.
All right. Good luck, my friend.
I told you it's one that's going to sound bad, but I think you'll agree, though. If one team's missing 4 quarterbacks.
I get that.
That is painful. I don't know what you're doing. The training staff's got to have their hands full because the whole injury room is full of quarterbacks. That's a problem.
They're going to bring in a wide receiver off the practice squad to
It could be. I mean, if Chavez gets injured in the first half, you might actually see some type of – I'm trying to think of an example of I'm trying to remember an example of an emergency quarterback, a Denver Broncos Hinkie situation going on there.
I just brought it up.
I know. I was trying to think of it, but I was trying to think of his name. Yeah. But, yeah, so it's mostly a fan of New Mexico, but if you're missing that many quarterbacks, I have no faith in that team scoring more than 14 points in that game. So, for me, I like the under.
I don't hate it. My problem with that is this is a Fresno State team that doesn't particularly run the ball well. I know you love Rivers, but they only average 3.5 yards per carry. The good news is they throw the ball a lot.
They're going to score. It's just a matter of I'm hoping they take a decent lead, take their foot off the gas, and even if they score 40, I don't think Fresno.
40 won't get it. No, they're going to.
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah.
I'm worried about them hanging half 100 here.
It could be. And if they do, then I'm screwed. But I'm going to look at New Mexico's defense and say to myself, they only gave up 27 to Nevada, only gave up 28 to Air Force. Wyoming can throw, but they only give up 16 there. This defense is bad. Definitely not as bad as it was over the first couple weeks. They have gotten a little bit better.
No, okay.
They're not very good, but anyway. No, I'm not going to spend too long on it. I'm going to take the under 60.
Okay, good enough. All right. I got you down for that one. And my second play is going to be the Chanticleers, Scott, covering the number against Troy.
You're taking the Mullets.
I am taking the Mullets. This is a Troy team. It's kind of been overbet all season long. I think a lot of times you get teams like this, and mid majors are great, or group of 5 schools, because you have this in your head. Like, I remember Troy's good. The Troy has but
yeah, Brandon Silvers hasn't been there in like 2 years.
That's what I'm saying. It's not necessarily current information, and I'm going to take advantage of a little market inequity here. I think people, for whatever reason, still are not buying this Coastal Carolina team. I will pat myself on the back, Scott. I pointed to this team in the second week. I said I love that quarterback, the freshman. He's
McCall's good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of his first name. Graham McCall.
Could be. I just know him as McCall.
Yeah, very good quarterback as a freshman. That's somebody that I do project at least holding a clipboard on Sunday if he carries on his trajectory. But the part that doesn't get a lot of credit for this Coastal Carolina team is their defense, and this is a defense that's given up less than 17 points per game. They do it all well. They're very good. They're decent against the pass or against the run. They're very good against the pass. Hard to get anything going, and that's if you're not going to be able to, if you're Troy and you're not going to be able to pass, it's going to be a long day. I'll take Coastal Carolina and lay the 13.5 there at -112.
Yeah, my question for that is, do you think Coastal is going to be motivated to try to finish the season undefeated and make a New Year's Six Bowl?
Yes, I think for these games, I think
this is a Super Bowl worthy game for Coastal.
Yes,
every game moving forward is.
Style points count 100% for Coastal Carolina. They are looking to get into a New Year's Six Bowl game. I think the style points absolutely count here.
Are you in agreement that my conspiracy theory is that I think the committee is going to screw over Cincinnati and Coastal by making them play each other in a bowl game?
No.
You don't think so? Didn't they break them up? I don't know. You have limited bowl games. It really would not surprise me if Coastal ends up playing Cincinnati.
I'd have to see how many bowl games. I mean, are we just going to throw out regular affiliations?
From what I can tell from the projections, it's supposed to be around 32 for bowl games. It's supposed to be around the 30s.
As opposed for what, 53?
Something like that. So yeah, you're losing a little bit less than half.
Yeah.
But it's my conspiracy theory. I hope I'm wrong, because I really want to see Cincinnati and Coastal go up against actual Power 5 teams. But the committee seems to hate both of these teams.
Yeah, that is, and it's infuriating because we rant about it every day. We're not going to do it again.
I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me if I see Coastal against Cincinnati, because they just.
I think the outcry is too great this year. I think one of those teams makes a New Year's game.
Give Cincinnati Georgia. Let me see Cincinnati play Georgia. Let me see Iowa State play Coastal. Let's have some fun.
That'd be great.
Let's have some fun.
Do you think Iowa State would be favored? I mean, I guess they would, but
Iowa State I think would be favored, but I think it would be less than a touchdown.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I think it would be around 4.
And I would play. I think it might be 3 or less. I'd play Coastal all day there.
The Georgia-Cincinnati one that I made up in my head matchup, I think that would be very close. I think that one could get ugly if Daniels actually is the quarterback that they hope that he is. I think Cincinnati will hang around. And Georgia's had a pretty bad history of underperforming in bowl games.
So what Georgia does against Mizzou tomorrow. That'll be interesting to see. So,
well, spoiler alert, you just transitioned. Just kidding. I'm not touching that game at all between Georgia and Missouri. No, I'm looking at the Pac-12 here. I'm going to be looking at the non-Buffaloes. I'm going to be taking the -2 against Utah at -110 on BetMGM. It's most available at 2.5 or even 3. BetMGM still has 2. So thank you very much. I'll take the free half point, full point. Believe it or not, Colorado, undefeated team in the Pac-12. They've actually been really good. And I know that their head coach got poached by Michigan State, and people thought, what are they going to do now? Turns out, find a better coach.
Yeah.
Because their new coach is really good. And Utah so far this season has been very underwhelming. Utah, who with Whittingham is a pretty good coach, but they lost so much talent from last year. And they had a pretty brutal loss to Washington there in the second game of the year, where they were up 21 at the half, got outscored 24-0 in the second half, and lost. They beat Oregon State by 6 at home. Congratulations, you were laying 14. I'm not that impressed by it. Meanwhile, Colorado's 4-0 against the spread. They've beaten UCLA, beaten Stanford, beaten San Diego State, beaten Arizona. They've been a pretty solid team so far. The defense in particular has definitely buckled down the last 2 weeks, albeit against a lesser competition in terms of offensive talent. But I don't think this Utah team's very good. Colorado should be very motivated, of course, because if they go undefeated and USC loses to UCLA, they're going to the title game. And there's a bit of a conspiracy going on, not really a conspiracy, but there's a huge argument going on in the Pac-12, if you know what I'm talking about, between who's going to qualify for the title game. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so just to tell all of you about it at home, I'm not going to go too much into detail. USC and Colorado are both in the same division. They were supposed to play each other a couple weeks ago, got canceled because of USC having COVID. Now, the reason why that's important is because of the fact that both teams are undefeated, and both teams can go undefeated in conference play if they both win this weekend. What that means is that since they're both in the same division, USC and Colorado cannot both make the title game despite both them going undefeated. So
Right.
USC would get a tiebreaker over Colorado to make it to the title game, even though it's USC's fault that Colorado could not play USC 3 weeks ago.
Correct.
So that's what happened. So meanwhile, people are arguing saying that they should kick out Washington or Utah and put Colorado against USC anyway, because they're clearly the two best teams, to just break the division rules out and have them play. I love that idea. I think they should, but I don't think they will.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
But the point is that this game means a lot to Colorado. This team's very good. I feel really bad if Colorado gets screwed out of a title game despite being undefeated in conference play. But I like this Colorado team. I think they have a very solid offense and defense. Utah's offense, really not good. I know Zach Moss being gone hurts. Huntley as well. This team just can't move the ball. So I like Colorado. I think they'll win this game by at least a touchdown.
Hey, quick update, Scott. How's that Colorado coach doing up there at Michigan State?
Not good. Not good.
That's a terrible team. That's a terrible team.
I mean, I hated the hire when they did it because a lot of people from Colorado even said, we don't like him as a coach. Like, enjoy. You know, it's a bad sign when he leaves for another team and the old program's going, oh, yeah, sure. Do you need help packing your bags?
Yeah.
It's not really a good sign. But I think you'll agree Colorado had a massive upgraded coach.
Yeah, that's hard to argue with right there.
So I like Colorado minus the 2.
You know, I as far as the controversy goes there in the Pac-12, you know, that's a rule they should have come up with. That, and I know it's a pretty deep in the weeds thing to consider, but yeah, if one of the teams if they're responsible for the cancellation, you shouldn't be able to cancel your way into a title game. Is what I'm saying.
That's what's happening with USC. So that's what we have seen so far. But the way that I see it is that I know that they haven't changed the rules. The main issue I have is I want to see the best 2 teams in a conference obviously fight for a conference title. And Utah or Washington are both clearly not better than Colorado and USC. And I don't think it's that close.
Yeah, agreed.
So that's my main argument, but whatever.
All right, Scott. I'm gonna for my last play here. I'm gonna make a bit of a hero play. I'm gonna look at the San Diego State BYU game. I'm gonna take the Aztecs catching 17.5. We talked earlier and
what does BYU have to play for?
Well, that's part of the motivation for me, Scott. Is you know, I know that I know that's a tough team and they're gonna be ready, but they're not gonna have that extra impetus to blow anybody out. It's you know, they had their shot. I think they're still going to be demoralized after that Coastal Carolina loss. And despite their offensive struggles, this is still a very good San Diego State.
Well, they switched quarterbacks, so their offense isn't as inept as it was. It's still not great, but it's definitely better than when Carson Baker was starting.
Yeah, definitely true. I like that defense for them quite a bit. This is a good defensive unit. I'm going to count on a little bit of a letdown there for BYU and a little bit of shot in the arm with a new quarterback and a very good defense for San Diego State. I like the number. If it was less than 17, I don't think I'd be touching it. But I like that we're catching over 3 scores plus. Give me the Aztecs plus the 17.5.
Cool. So I guess we can just recap everything now.
All right, what you got?
So my 3 plays, I like Miami, Florida against North Carolina -3 and -105 on Fox Bet. I like Fresno State, New Mexico under 60 at -110 on Bet Online, and I like Colorado -2 at -110 on Bet MGM.
All right, very good, sir. I will take the Northern Illinois, Eastern Michigan over 53. Coastal Carolina continuing their winning ways, taking care of business against Troy -13.5. And late night nugget for all you underdog bettors. I've got the San Diego State Aztecs plus 17.5 against the Mormons of BYU.
Cool.
All right, my friend. Well, that's going to do it for this week. We hope everybody enjoyed it. Hope everybody is able to make some money this weekend and hopefully back our picks as we each go 3-0. Scott, are you ready?
Yes, I haven't gone 3-0 all season long. So
no, you haven't. You've been the model of consistency there.
I was 2-1 for about 6 straight weeks.
That's a pretty amazing thing. You have 2-1 your way to 6 games over 500.
Yep.
So it's if you think about just the logistics of it, it's
I've been consistent. I just haven't blown anything out of the water yet.
Correct. So we hope to correct that this week as we each go 3-0. And whatever you guys decide to play, hey, put it in the comment section. Let us know what you're on. Give us your top 3 plays for the weekend.
By the way, sorry, I'm kind of drawing a blank on the schedule. There's only there's 1 week left, 2 weeks left. How many weeks are there left for the regular season?
Well, we've got conference championship games next week for a lot of these conferences. Do we have any regular season games left?
That's what I was asking because I'm not sure if all the conference title games are next week or there's a couple of stragglers.
Dude, I don't look ahead. I honestly
Fair
don't.
enough. Okay, I'm glad we had this talk.
I know. I keep my head down when the games come up. I look at them.
That's how I view it. That's why I was kind of wondering because I don't want to say I'm looking at the finish line, but I believe I'm going into turn 2.
Oh yeah, you're coming down the home stretch here, buddy. We're it's now or never. It's a shortened season. I'm gonna have to make my move. So I feel good about these picks, and you got trash out there this week, so I think I'm gonna do okay.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right, man. Yeah, drop us a line in the comment section. Let us know what you're playing.
Sorry to interrupt. I think we have 2 weeks left.
Okay, you done?
I might have made that up, but we'll see.
Okay, so you just threw that out there. You couldn't help yourself.
I threw that out there just to interrupt you in your flow.
Okay.
Yep. I'm trying to get in your head after you made your picks.
I kind of get ramped up for this close thing.
I know you do. I know.
Kind of a momentum thing.
Yeah, I'm hoping if I interrupt you, it'll make it shorter.
All right. I don't know how that possibly works in any universe.
Not at all.
Not at all. Hey, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye. No, you guys, as always, drop us a comment, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate you watching. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money back of the window. Don't forget to stop by winnersandwhiners.com. Check out deep dives into every single game, every single day. College football, probably the number one day you should be over there at Winners and Whiners. So check that out as well. For myself, for interrupting Cal, Scott Reichel, appreciate you watching. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow on Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody.